Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 232 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. For the drill of the week, we're going to talk about the on-table warm-up and how to make the most of this time. We're going to update you on the Power of Practice Challenge and the World Championships. In the questions, we talk about how to remain confident when you start missing some shots, how to deal with a higher backspin ball, how tournaments help you improve, how to stay motivated, and the slow spinny topspin. Yes, it's a big show. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Morning, Jeff, and how are you this morning?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. Things are going well. I think we should jump straight into the Power of Practice Challenge, Alois. I see you've posted your first video.
Yes, I had my first 5-minute training session yesterday. So I'm doing the spin catcher, where you spin the ball up and catch it. A little bit better than I actually expected for the first time. But I haven't got it at all. So I think it's going to take me the full month to get some skill with that. So yeah, let's see how let us see the power of practice.
Absolutely. It looks like a really difficult skill, Alois. So you did actually make a catch or two there, so that's a good start.
Yeah, but then that's the bit that surprised me, but then it reverted back, and they were bouncing off again. So anyway, let's see. Today is another day.
Funny. The against the side of the table, I'm going pretty well. Like, I'm really surprised. And it was kind of funny because at the start in the first session, I was missing the side of the table just a lot. But then something just sort of clicked, and now I can still miss the side pretty easy, but I can get into these periods where I can just keep going for quite a long time. And it seems it's almost more concentration that I need to keep going to keep progressing. But yeah, something kind of just clicked. The other thing I found really fascinating in your video, Alice, was you were like, is that the 5 minutes already? The time seemed to go really quickly for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I thought it was like 2 minutes, and Matt said, "No, 5 minutes." So I thought, "Wow, really? Okay." And what about for you? Does the time go fast?
Yeah, time goes really fast, really quick. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed was a little comment towards the end. You seem to be getting a little bit frustrated at the end.
Yeah, like because like the skill improved a bit. Like I felt, wow, I've got it. But then I didn't have it at all. So which is interesting, isn't it? Like you just go through phases, and maybe what's happening here, maybe overthinking it a little bit. So anyway, well, let's see what today brings.
Yes, indeed. And we've started to receive a few videos from other people, so keep them coming. You can post them on the PingSkills Facebook page, or a short one to Instagram and share it, or YouTube, and use the hashtag Power of Practice. That's going to be the easiest way for us to find your videos to judge the winners. So keep them coming. Good work, PingSkillers. Get involved in the Power of Practice Challenge. All right. Now, I want to talk about the PingSkills question of the day. Yesterday's was, which team are you supporting at the World Championships? Who are people supporting, Alois?
Yeah, so a wide variety actually of who people are supporting. I've just got to get back to it. Oh, there we are. So there's Greg said Team Canada, and he's got the old maple leaf there. So yes, go Team Canada. Naranjan, India. Thad, got to be my home nation, although they won't win, England. I'll get back to you, Thad. And Milosh, Serbian national team, both women's and men's team among the favourites for the first place in their respective groups. Yes, so good luck to Serbia there. Eugene says Malaysia, Australia, China, and Korea for men. And Christopher, China, Germany, Sweden, Japan, and Singapore. Rob Chung, New Zealand, and China, of course. And Pradeep says China. So, yeah, quite a few following China with which is, I suppose, to be expected. China being hot favourites for both the men's and women's teams. But yeah, I suppose going into the World Championships review, Thad, England had a big win yesterday, beating Germany in the men's. So they beat them 3-1. Interestingly, though, no Timo Boll in that match. So Timo obviously having some sort of sickness and pulling out of that match. We saw him lose two matches to France yesterday. Maybe he just got dropped.
Maybe. Yeah, Germany really struggling. No Ovcharov through his back injury, and now Timo Boll not playing against England. Yeah, they're really struggling.
Yeah, so Germany are going to actually struggle to qualify. In fact, I don't think that they will qualify for the main draw, which is just a huge surprise. So France are in pole position there. They beat Sweden 3-2 yesterday in an epic battle. So they look like taking the top spot in Group B. Sweden also look to be in a good position. And then England, who play Malaysia and should have a win there, should take third spot. Germany are up against Sweden. But I think even if they win, even if Germany beats Sweden, I think England will go through because of their head-to-head record. They'll both be on the same number of wins. So, yeah, that will be interesting. Looks like France, Sweden, and England progress through Group B. In Group A of the men's, China way on top without losing a game. Austria had a loss to the People's Republic of Korea, who look like they will go through. So they were the bottom seed in their group, but have won all of their 3 matches against Austria, Taipei, and Greece, and lost to China. But they just got the one match now against the Czech Republic, which they are hot favourites to win that one as well. So yeah, that's a bit of a topsy-turvy group. Looks like in that group, China definitely will go through, and perhaps Austria and Korea. Actually, Austria playing China might struggle, but yeah, we'll see. So Czech Republic also doing well in that group. So yeah, some big matches in Group A. And looking at the other groups, so Group C, Japan strong. They've beaten Poland 3-0, Belarus 3-0, Ukraine 3-0, and Singapore 3-1, and come up against Portugal today. Portugal, interestingly, losing to Poland. Portugal were my, sort of outsider for the team that was going to surprise people and, maybe even make the final. So, yeah, Portugal having a hiccup early on. But
that is surprising, yeah.
But they do play Japan today, and I don't write them off against Japan either. So let's see how they go there.
How's Marcus Freitas going with his spin?
Well, exactly. Let me just have a look at. So they lost 3-1 to Portugal. Freitas losing to the Chinese-born Wang Zhengyi from Poland. He lost 3-0 there, and then lost 3-2 to Jacob Dyjas. So, yeah, so bad match for Freitas. Bad match.
Disappointing result.
Yeah, so Poland, yeah, big surprise winners there against Portugal. And in Group D, so Korea on top, having 2 3-2 wins. So they beat Croatia 3-2 and Romania 3-2. And come up against Hong Kong today. Hong Kong lost to Russia. So I mean, I think it just shows you the quality and the depth of world table tennis now. I mean, China is way out there on top, but from the other teams, it's really interesting now. Who is going to push forward as the great bridesmaid, I suppose, in this event.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, make sure you check out ITTV. Start watching some of these games. Fantastic table tennis, and it's great that the ITTF is live streaming these matches. All right, Alois. Any other exciting news from the World Championships?
No, nothing too exciting at this stage. But yeah, that was just. I suppose that was mainly a wrap up of the men's Division A. So the Australian women who we're following doing well, undefeated. They're in Division 3, which is probably low for them, and they should do really well there, especially with Jan Fang Lei, a veteran who looks like she might qualify for her 5th Olympics this year, which is huge.
Very exciting. Good one. All right. So now moving on to today's PingSkills question of the day. It is, can Timo Boll win another open event? Losing 2 to France, getting older, not playing against England. We need to know, can Timo Boll win another open event? Let us know. Jump on our Facebook page or go to our blog at pingskills.com.
Yeah, and also, do you think that he can qualify for the Olympics? So he's struggling. He's whether it's injury, whether it's illness. Let's hope.
Good question. All right. Now, it is Wednesday, so we are talking about the drill of the week. And today we want to talk about the on-table warm-up, Alois. How can people make the most of this time in their training?
Yeah, it's an interesting part of the training time. A lot of people, when they get on for that on-table warm-up, will just do forehands almost mindlessly and backhands mindlessly. Let's start to think about how we can make this time a bit better. Let's see if we can utilize that time to actually focus on something that we're trying to improve. So a couple of ideas that we give you in our training drills is that with that warm-up, you can start to think about your balance. You can start to think about things like where you are hitting the ball on the bat. Is it hitting in the middle? Is that where you want to be hitting it? Do you want to hit it up the top? Or even just experiment and just see if you can hit the ball on different spots at will. So that's a really good little exercise that you can do. I suppose, you talked about, I was surprised with that 5 minutes, or how quick the 5 minutes was. When you're doing mindless forehand to forehand, that 5 minutes can take a long time. When you turn your attention and focus onto something like that, those 5 minutes go really quickly, because you're interested, you're achieving something during that training time. So yeah, don't just get out on the table and do I'm going to do forehands and backhands and then I'm going to start my training. No, that's when your training starts. Focus on something that you're doing with that. The other thing that we talked a little bit about yesterday, I think it was not just hitting the ball to one spot in that 5 minutes. So just start to vary that position around a little bit. So you're making your training partner move a little bit, they're making you move a little bit as well, because that becomes a little bit more game-like. So I suppose it's not just the forehand to forehand warm-up that we're talking about there. We're starting to talk a little bit about placing the ball. We're starting to talk about our movement and balance as well. These forehands, I mean, once you've done them for a couple of years, you can do it easily. So let's extend and utilize that that warm-up, on-table warm-up time a little bit better.
Good tips there, Alois. So, yep, next time you go out and practice at your warm-up, try and implement some of those suggestions and see if it helps you improve and make that time go really fast because you're so focused. All right, it is time for this day in history. Alois, what happened on the 2nd of March?
Ah, yes. Well, it's the birthday of Theodor Seuss Geisel, Jeff, who was born in 1904.
Geisel. Excellent. And he did?
Theodor Seuss Geisel. What about if I said that he was Dr. Theodor Seuss Geisel?
Wow, really? The cat in the hat is back.
Yes, you got it. Yes. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, well done, Jeff. Yeah, so born in 1904. Yeah, so wrote Cat in the Hat, Horton Hears a Who, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So yeah,
Green eggs and ham.
green eggs and ham, one of your favorites, I know, Jeff.
Absolutely. All right, good one. Well done, Dr. Seuss, on writing all those great books. My kids love them.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, it is time to turn our attention to the questions. And we've got a couple of people who have jumped on to our Google Hangout and asked a question live on the show, so thank you. First up is a question from Ilya, who says, in practice, I play full swings that create good spin and safety, even in random and match-like drills. But in a tournament, when I make a few mistakes in a row, I tend to play it safe by shortening my strokes. It drops the spin and safety. How can I address this?
Yeah, it's gaining confidence in that stroke, and it's just gaining that belief that that stroke works. So what happens is that in practice, you know, you're doing that, the ball's going on the table, you're relaxed. In a match situation, you might tighten up a little bit. So as soon as you tighten up a little bit, perhaps it leads to errors. That error then leads to, oh, maybe I need to do something. Oh, I need to get back control of this stroke. And you start to tighten up even more. Trust the stroke. The stroke is good. You know how to do it. You know that it goes on the table. You've just got to start to, in practice, understand the feeling of the stroke, understand that that's the stroke that works for you. And then in a game situation, trust it. Okay, the stroke works. You need to just allow yourself to play that stroke. And it's not that easy. I mean, you know, like there are always those doubts that go through your head when you start to make errors in a match situation. So let's make sure that in that match situation that you're just focusing on making sure the technique stays correct in that situation. It's not easy.
No, it's an interesting question, Alois. And logically, Ilya knows that the full swing gives him better margin for error, and the shorter one doesn't, because he says it drops the spin and drops the safety. Yet you still tend to revert back to that. Yeah, so it's an interesting one. Good question. But yeah, like Alois said, just when you make the mistake and you miss it, try and reinforce in your mind that, hey, that was the correct technique. I need to keep doing that. You know, maybe I missed that one, but it's still the right way. Just reinforce that. That's my suggestion. Try out a few options and see how it goes. But yeah, in the long run, it's all about the power of practice. Keep practicing and you'll make less mistakes and you'll gain more confidence. So yeah, keep working on it, Ilya, and great question. Next up is a question from Spam20, who says, what to do with a long and higher ball that has backspin? I sometimes end up with my enemy pushing it very long and high when I don't expect it. And sometimes it's so high that I can't use a forehand topspin or a push, but also too low for a smash. So what to do? He's talking about that sort of middle range, I guess, Alois, just below the shoulder, but not really low.
Yeah, it can be an awkward ball, and it looks easy, and that's often the biggest trap. So if that ball's up here with some backspin, you do need to play a topspin on that ball. So you need to get yourself into position and execute the topspin. So you said, you couldn't play the topspin. That's the ball that you need to aim for. So it might be that moving into position. So when that ball's up that high, you do have more time because the ball's higher. So you need to utilize the time that the ball's in the air, move into positions, step back a little bit, give yourself some space and make a full topspin stroke at it. Even though it's got a bit of height to it, you still need to topspin the ball because the backspin that's already on the ball. If you hit the ball flat, the ball will go down. So really focus on making topspin on that medium high backspin ball. I think the biggest thing is the positioning, is getting yourself into position and utilizing that time. So you're talking about it being deep, so that means you need to move back a little bit from the table and practice it. So in training, probably the best way to practice it is with multi-ball. So if you can, even if you can get someone to feed, even if you've got 20 balls or so, just get them to feed it at that height that you're finding awkward, and then you practice that stroke. But then also start to practice the stroke moving from different positions. So you might get them to do a nice low push first, where you come in and push the ball, and then the next one goes up higher, and you've got to get back and adjust to that higher backspin ball. So yeah, topspin is the answer, but you need to also be in good position to make that topspin.
Good advice there, Alois, and hopefully that helps you out, Spam 20. Next up is a question from Victory.
Brocky's back.
Also known as Brocky. And Brocky says, I am trying to learn the yarn of a Waldner trademark serve. So I'm starting off to serve under my arm to get the swing correct. But when I try to do the same without swing under my arm, I just miss or hit the table, or it even bounces just one time. Help.
Rocky, not sure. You're under your arm. What do you, under this arm or under this arm? Under this arm, you reckon? Yeah.
Maybe.
So, yeah, maybe. But, I mean, you're not allowed to serve under this arm anymore. So Waldner in his day, back in the day, was allowed to serve under the arm. So now it's better if you're taking the arm away anyway. So just, you've got to take the arm away and just start to practice that serve. So Waldner serve isn't that easy, huh? Well, it sort of is. It's basically a pendulum serve, but yeah, just make sure you're not getting the arm in the way, because otherwise it's an illegal serve.
Yeah, exactly. Get the arm out of the way. I guess, you know, a good idea for starting with the pendulum serves is get that elbow up high. Don't move the elbow too much. Just use your wrist and your forearm. There are a few good tips for you, Brocky. Just get out there, practice, practice, practice. Okay. The next question is from Haytham, who says, does the participation in tournaments help improving one's game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Haytham. It's a really good way of broadening the base of players that you are playing and also watching. So by going to a tournament, you'll see a wider range of players. So rather than just being within your club, you often get players from all over the state or country or whatever it is that you can go and watch and also play against. So definitely, if you get the opportunity to play in a tournament, go and play, or even go and watch a tournament to start off with. If you're not comfortable to go and play a tournament, just go and watch and see the level of players, and then jump in and enter the tournament and play some matches as well. It's a lot of good fun. You might end up there and you might end up losing all your matches, but that's okay. It's you've still learned something, and you've broadened your perspective of table tennis. So definitely get into those tournaments.
Yeah, and most tournaments, Alois, have different levels, so you can find the level that's good for you, where you do have a chance of being competitive. And I guess, you know, the way that most people measure how good their game is by their results. And so, you know, going to a tournament is a great way to even, you know, get an idea of your level. So, yeah, jump in, play the tournaments. Lots of fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right, the next question is from Timmy. And Timmy says, how can I deal with losing my motivation while I'm playing table tennis? I'm not very competitive, but I want to try to help this problem go away if I start playing competitively. Do you have any tips on how I can keep myself motivated? Yeah,
so the first thing is, don't focus on the result. So the winning and losing, if that's you know, increasing and decreasing your motivation, isn't the right way to go, because half the time you're going to lose, right? I mean, on averages, you win 50%, you lose 50%. 50% of people win, 50% of people lose in every game. So what you need to do is just go in there and have some focus as to what you're trying to do with your game. Competitiveness is about, you know, it's a lot about yourself as well. So it's not like you've got to go out there and beat someone. It's about improving yourself, improving your game. If you look at it that way, it will you'll increase your focus, and you've got something to aim at. You can never tell what the other person's going to do. So if I play against Jeff, I know I'm going to win, right? And but one day Jeff might play really, really well, and I might also play well and Jeff wins. But another day, I might play badly, Jeff plays badly, I win. What's better? It's definitely the day that I lost, but I played better. So if you think about improving your level, don't think about the result. You're going to lose 50% of the time. So improve your level of your game, and that's the way to, advance your game.
Yeah, absolutely. Good advice there. So yeah, Timmy, find some things that you can focus on for your own game. Keep working on those. That's the beauty about table tennis. There's always something to improve on, always something to work on in your own game. Hopefully those tips help you out. Next question is from Eugene. He says, why must we put the slow spinny topspin high over the net? Doesn't this just allow trouble that your opponents can attack you easier with because it's a high ball? Why not put it low and spinny?
Good point, Eugene. You definitely can put that that slow spinny topspin low over the net as well. I think that to start off with, the higher margin, the higher ball is easier to execute. So that's probably the one that you need to start with. And it still can be effective. So just because the ball's higher doesn't mean it's easy for your opponent to return, because if there's a variation between your fast topspin and then your slow spinny topspin, the blocker or your opponent needs to adjust to that. So they will often make a mistake. And it sounds really silly. And I know a few people that I coach as well find that a really difficult concept, but if I play the ball high, they're going to smash it. No, not necessarily. So the high spinny topspin is fine. But if you can then improve that slow spinny topspin and get it low as well sometimes, then that is also an effective ball, because it's another variation that your opponent needs to deal with. So if I shape up for a slow spinny topspin and it's always high, then they can adjust easier than if I shape up and sometimes I get it low, sometimes I get it high. How do you get it lower? Just by swinging a little bit lower. So instead of so much of a vertical stroke, you can just lift it a little bit less so the ball's going lower over the net. So experiment with it. It's a deadly stroke to try to develop if you can develop the lower slow spinny topspin as well as the high spinny topspin.
Yeah, exactly. I think with that ball coming high, the reason it's difficult is because all the topspin, and so the blocker has to really get down on the ball. And if that's a change up, it is really hard to deal with. So you get out there and try the slow spinny topspin. And
yeah,
as Eugene said, try different heights.
Yeah, and I think the question we had earlier about the higher backspin ball. You'd think, well, if I play a high backspin ball, the other person's going to crunch it, but it's in an awkward position for them as well sometimes. Not that I advocate just pushing the ball high, but think to yourself about that. If the ball is higher, it's not necessarily an easy ball to attack. Same as if you do a higher spinny ball, it's not necessarily easier to attack.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Victor E has asked another question. He says, how did Waldner get all kind of spin with his serve? His serve is basically only backspin, isn't it?
Nah, he's doing all sorts of stuff with that serve. It looks like backspin, but sometimes he's hitting the ball on the way up. He's getting some top, and then he's going down. So he's getting all sorts of spin on that, and that's why it's so effective. Variation.
Exactly. And it's all about the different contact points, hitting the ball different ways. If you want to develop a serve like Waldner, just get out there and practice lots and lots. Try hitting the ball in different ways. Try getting different spins. Just, get interested in the game and try and work on different variations. Good luck.
And you would be amazed at the power of practice.
Oh, yes, you would be. Nice one. Now, one last question. Spam20 says, is there any modern serve which uses topspin?
Yeah, so basically all your serves you can do with some topspin. So you can do the tomahawk serve with topspin by just coming over the top of the ball. You can do the backhand serve with topspin by hitting the ball later in the swing. You can do the pendulum serve with topspin by coming up on the ball at the end of your swing. So yes, a topspin variation of a serve can be really effective, but this is not effective. If I just stand there and do that as a serve, it's not effective because it's giving my opponent too much time to see the fact that it's topspin and adjust to it. So yeah, so that is not effective, but use topspin with all your other variations of serves and they can be very effective. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the top players use these topspin variations, still keeping the ball short so it would have bounced twice on the table, and then they're ready for their opponent sort of to flick it long to them, and then they can start attacking. So, yeah, it can be very effective. Give it a try, Spam20. All right, Alois, that wraps up show 232. It was a big show. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure you get out and try your skills challenge, the power of practice. Pick one of those, the spin catcher or hitting the ball on the side, and start filming. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Jeffrey. I'm off for my 5 minutes power of practice. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.